resolution as mediators. We consider the angle we are coming from, and then we defined conflict, especially concerning what we are into, mediation. So when there is a conflict, and with that conflict is between two people, that is what brings about mediation or resolution. But if it is this kind of individual individual conflict between oneself psychologically or emotionally, it is one's own. And then how do a mediator comes in there? You see, there automatically there is no mediator.
Can I come in here?
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Paul. Yes. Yes, sir.
There is a mediator there, because as a mediator, you are supposed to be skilled in various aspects of small bits of psychology, or as much as you can go interpersonal relations and things like that. This is where the mediator goes to referral. So when, as a mediator, you find somebody with this type of issue or a case, it's the kind of thing where it goes to depression and things like that. You're not a specialist there. It is the same thing as where there is trauma, and the person who you're trying to mediate on has a trauma that needs to be healed. You're not a trauma counselor or specialist. You will now go into your referral mode. You will refer that patient to the appropriate specialist that will see him first to bring out the wellness in him, or to heal him, or to heal the trauma, or what. So when he is ready, he comes back if there was an underlying issue that had brought them to you in the first place, because nobody would come on his own to a mediator that he's having conflict within himself. He will actually come to us like a guidance and counseling person, or a counselor that will now look at his situation. But where he ends up on your table as a mediator, you look where you see there's trauma-related issues, or there's a conflict like this, you refer to the most appropriate body that would help that person.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other opinion?
I don't know if I may speak.
Okay, go ahead.
I believe that somebody can have a conflict with himself. For instance, let me give an example, because mostly I deal with a lot of matrimonial causes. So let me give an example of a matrimonial mediation of where the man comes and says, in our family, men don't do this. But I want to, but the way our family does things, it will create a problem in the family. I believe that's conflict within himself, because he wants to take an action, but his belief is that this is the belief of our family and it will create problems in the family. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So, actually, okay, let me see. We wrote something in our website. Actually, there is a conflict can actually happen within. A person can have conflict within himself, actually. He can. Sometimes you do something, and after you finish doing, you say, Kai, I'm animal. I don't know whether you have had somebody say this kind of thing. Say, Kai, I'm a fool. You are the one talking to yourself and telling yourself that you are a fool. Say, Kai, look at this kind of thing that I did. But Kai, no. Even you yourself, you are agreeing that you have done a foolish thing, So you may have conflicts, just as they said. That could be ordinarily, it may seem to be an abnormal situation, which maybe you may need to. So now mediation is going on. We have different doors. When you go to the Kaduna State Multi-Door Courthouse, we have trauma healing. In fact, that is what they call safe space. All of those things are developments, because when you interact with people trying to resolve their issues, you have restorative justice. So you discover that you have elements of this, elements of this, elements of that, and they may be interfering with your ability to help them resolve the situation. So if you are not trained, you can refer them. I saw His Honor, Honorable Joshua He's actually a trained and certified emotional trauma healing specialist. And I was privileged also to take part in that training along with him. We were trained with some white people came in and trained us on that. And I think there are different doors. So the thing is that we are all agreeing that you can have a conflict within yourself. That's what we're saying. Is that okay? Is that so?
Yes,
It's okay.
The essence is that if you yourself, you can have a conflict within yourself, it means that conflicts are actually inevitable. They are not something that you can, they are bound to happen, right? And that's what we are learning. How do we prevent? How do we avoid? You can avoid as much as you can prevent as much as you can manage as much as you can, and you can find a solution to it. That's all that we're trying to. So now, there are stages of conflict. Stages. The first one you have is you look at the latent conflict. That has to do with a point where you see the underlying tension or potential for conflict, though not yet expressed. I don't know if you have seen something like that. You are seeing the tension. If you when you stay around some environment and you see certain things happening, you just say, hey, there is every possibility that this thing may escalate to. If you stay in a place where kaji where an kashe soldier, or an kashe police, you hear that they kill a soldier man or they kill a police or a mobile policeman, and you are staying in that environment, what will you do?
You relocate for a few days to go and see or stay with your relatives.
So, nobody tells you that maybe something will happen, but latent, you understand that there is something that may happen. Like, you are not saying that it may because it's security people, but you see, you know that one way or the other something will happen. It's either they will come and do mass arrest, or they are going to come and kill some people. They will pack some people. People will become victims. They will be beaten. That is a stage where you are just seeing that there is tension, there is potential for a conflict, yet it has not been expressed. It has not happened. Are we together? If you see a man, they say, what is he? Say nothing. But his eye is red. He's just shaking his head like this. He say, Oga lafia, lafia. That lafia is not in tandem with what is inside of him. Yet he has not taken any step or he has not taken any action. Somebody tells you, he comes and see his son wounded with stone or stick, and blood is dripping. And the man just came and looked at it. He didn't say anything. He just passed. If you're in that place, you'll be like, I don't understand. The man didn't say anything. He didn't condemn it. He didn't approve it. He just passed. Where is he going to? Is he going to go and bring police? Is he going to go carry a gun? Is he going to carry machete and cutlass or a bow and arrow? Like, he has not said anything. He has not. So that kind of situation, we call it what? Latent. That stage of conflict is called latent. It has not been expressed. It has not been said. Then we now have the perceived conflict. That perceived conflict has to do with when you become aware of the conflict by one or two parties, when you become aware of the conflict. Now, when this person comes back, and possibly comes with a machete or comes with his all his sons, he has gathered all of them and they are coming. They come and they begin to take certain action. You know that it has now become at the stage of perceived conflict. And then you have another stage called the felt. You felt conflict, like FELT. At this stage, actually, you see that there is actual confrontation, and the dispute is visible and it is open. And most times, these things must must happen, must it will move from stage to stage. Sometimes the stages can happen immediately within the twinkling of an eye, or within the shortest time possible. Sometimes it will take little time before you can see the manifestation. And then you now have the conflict aftermath. If the conflict happen, you may have people who may be affected one way or the other, and then you will see. So you have these four stages of conflict. Conflict analysis, as we said, in mediation. When you do conflict analysis, you are doing it in order to understand the context. You want to identify the stakeholders, who are the parties that are involved in this conflict, who are the sustainers of the conflict. If I want to resolve this conflict, who and who do I need to invite, who and who needs to be present? It helps you to assess the readiness of the parties. When you say, okay, party A and B should come together, are they willing to come together? Are they not ready to come together? These are the things you'll be looking at, so that you know the steps to take. Remember, mediation is voluntary. Then you'll be able to distinguish between positions and interest. We have learned about position and interest. When you come to a point where somebody say, no, you must pay me 10 million, that's position. But what is the interest? What does this person really want? Nobody wants to present a position or make himself feel weak, or he's not doing as expected. Nobody will want to do that. So please, let's take note of that. Then you look at you analyze it so that you'll be able to understand, are there people who are highly placed, who wield more power? Let's say if it is a conflict between a husband and a wife, you see that maybe the husband is more powerful, has more power, compared to if it is between a father and his son. You look at that. Who is he? Is he between an employer and an employee? Who has more power? So when you analyze the conflict, to help you to be able to assess and to neutralize. What am I going to do to ensure that these people have equal platform to be able to speak, to be able to do what they are supposed to do without fear. So, and when you analyze the conflict, to help you to be able to explore the causes of the conflict, which we have stated. Now, when you want to analyze conflict, how do you go about it? You must understand these tools. These tools are things we have learned in mediation, and we keep learning. One of which is active listening. Active listening. You want to listen. Listen without any form of distraction. Listen to be able to understand how each party is feeling. You want to understand how the parties look at things. That's the thing that you are doing, which is very, very important. So, and if you are going to be active, you want to actively listen, you use some tools like you paraphrase, you summarize, if I get you correctly, you said this. Sometimes if they say the man is a stupid man, it is your duty as a mediator to neutralize that language. You can say, are you, or I understand you to say that maybe this person acts in a way that maybe you're not comfortable with. Are we together?
Yes, we are together.
That's all.
Yes.
So your duty, you are trying to, when somebody is trying to explain his own side of the story at the beginning, he can say all manner of things. This is a very useless woman. This why woman, this useless, this and that. You need to see how you can neutralize those kind of languages. So you need to reflect on what each party have said. Make sure you understand it. If you are able to restate what somebody has said, and you saw that you got it correctly without mistake, that person will feel like, oh wow, and this person is listening to me. So you have to listen actively. Active listening is very, very important. And then you use tools like open-ended questions. You ask those kind of questions so that you can encourage dialogue, and so that you'll be able to explore some of the underlying issues. You can tell the person, oh, can you tell me more about what this? If you tell me, can you tell me more about how important this thing is to you? These are things that will make you, oh, can you tell me more? Say, oh, wow, is that what happened? Oh, can you tell me, when you say this person doesn't love me, can you tell me what you mean by love? That kind of, you explain and explain and explain. As lawyers, we are used to asking those kind of questions. So these are the things that we do. Reframing, I've mentioned it. That kind of reframing, you are reframing something, just like, just frame. When somebody says something toxic, you try to neutralize it. You reframe it in such a way that it can easily be acceptable. So that's the kind of things that you do. So when you do conflict, when you analyze conflict, these are the kind of things that you are looking at. So I am happy that some of you have spoken, you have said, and I believe that everybody has spoken here. This training is to ensure that all of us speak. So we are going to do a lot of presentation. So, but for now, I don't know, do we have any question? Any question?
Mine is not a question, sir, but just... Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Go ahead.
It's not really a question, but just that... It's not really a question, but just to say that I had a lot of network interruptions today. In fact, I barely know how soon we can provide the recording, if possible, so that I can follow up. I really missed a lot, a chunk of the discussion.
Actually, you can actually
because of
be
network. It kept throwing me out of the room and all that. So I will appreciate.
Okay. Okay, no problem. We will.
Sir, I'm not
we'll
hearing
make
you.
it. Can you hear me?
Okay, now good. Hello?
We will. I've heard you. Thank you. We will. Should we? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
you're
sir.
breaking.
Okay.
Hello, sir. I have something. I don't. Is it a... Hello?
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Smart. Go ahead.
It's breaking.
Just go ahead and speak.
Can you hear me? It's breaking.
Please go ahead. I can hear you.
Okay, sir. You said if we have a question, mine is... It's a question. It's a comment and a question. Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
So, um, it's the we've been talking about conflicts and disputes, and so in during the course of the discussion, yes, I realized that the nature or the type of the conflict or the cause might be determined. There are situations that I think it might be determined by the conflict actors, by the parties in disputes, such that if sometimes you can be able to point out the nature or cause of a conflict when you look at the parties. Is that
Okay.
am I right to think that
It could.
sometimes the actors, okay, or the parties can determine the cause of that conflict or the type?
It is actually the parties that used to determine the
Okay, sir.
cause of the conflict, because it is in your when you are doing conflict analysis, you are interacting with the parties.
Yes.
Is it possible to do conflict analysis when the parties are not there or you are not interacting with them? Is it possible?
No.
I'm talking to the whole house. Is it possible?
No,
No,
sir.
but no, sir, the point I'm trying to make is, when the preparatory parts, when you are preparing for for mediation, what I'm trying to say is that can there be situations where at a mere look at the parties, even without hearing them, when we are preparing at the mere names of the parties, you will be able to know what kind of disputes. For example, if the parties involve a bank and a customer, then before they even start speaking, you might know that this one has to do with customer banker relationship or something like that. So it can actually help you to even mentally start preparing even before they start speaking, something like that.
Okay, so that kind of information may be best for your own personal consumption. When I was
Okay.
in a bank,
Okay,
when
sir.
I don't know whether it's a customer of the bank or somebody. Okay, the people are still maybe at the closing hour. This man just I don't know what happened. He just ran his car into the gate and broke the gate, and
Mm,
his car hooked inside. So if
okay.
you see them in court and you just assume that
Mm,
because it's a customer and it is a bank, it is a banker customer
mm.
relationship, that would be a very grievous
Yeah.
assumption,
Mistake.
right?
Yes,
So,
sir.
so most times we don't assume. That's why we are saying that if you see a woman,
Mm. Yes,
small
sir.
woman, and you see
Mm.
a big man, and they say a husband and wife, and you say, these people, there is domestic violence. Our head,
Yeah.
our brain will quickly say, look at this giant. Look at, he went and married a small woman and he's busy beating her. And if you are able to listen to that and you get to hear that she is the one that is even abusing the man in the marriage, you'll be so surprised. Say, how comes? You know? And we have also heard of situation where a woman beats her husband. So
Okay.
when you say there is domestic violence, you think that it is the man that always beat
Yeah.
the woman. But you have situation where it is the woman that beats the man. So the thing is that we are training ourselves as mediators as
Yes.
hard as possible. Let us not assume.
Exactly. So we
Always
should
listen.
not.
That's
We
why
should
we
keep
say
our. Yeah.
yes.
So we should keep our
Always
biases aside. Yes. Mm.
yes. So,
Yes.
but when you are listening to the parties,
Yes, sir.
you may have your bias, but your
Mm.
bias should not interfere in what you do.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
Mediators, they said you should be neutral. It has been a
Mm.
subject of contention between experts whether you can actually be neutral. If this one is saying she is beating me, is beating me, and beating me, and as a woman, if you are a woman, there is a way you begin to feel, how can this man look at her, look at wound all over her? If you begin to, you may even take sides.
But you see, if you do that, if you are a judge and you do that, there is tendency that you may rule against that person. If it is
Very
in
true.
mediation and you take that side, unknown to you, you begin to see that your action, your attitude towards the other person may change.
Yes.
So that's why they say to be neutral. But the extent to which, if it is this kind of absolute neutrality, or that okay, I have my own opinion, but let me not allow my opinion to influence what I do, my
Okay.
action. Okay, so that's the kind of things
Okay.
that we are looking at. So
Um,
always,
okay. So, sir, if the situation arises that the mediator becomes so biased and he finds out that he might not be able to actually mediate neutrally, he can he there should be options for him to withdraw. So now if he withdraws from mediation, is it to state the reasons he's withdrawing, or he will just withdraw without telling the parties why he's withdrawing?
you see, if you are in that kind of situation, you don't even need to see the reason because the parties will tell you the reason. I was appointed as a mediator in a matter. Unknown to me that matter, I once appeared as a counsel and then I was debriefed and was given to another person. So the moment I just appeared, I believe that the client must have told a lawyer that, did you know this person that was my lawyer before? So before I just start
Wow.
going, objection, lawyer raise objection, say, I don't think we are okay or comfortable to what. I say, oh, I understand, but please, can you allow me to explain to you what mediation is and all of those things? Decision making in
Okay.
mediation is your own. So there is no way I will influence you, So, but if you are not
Yes.
comfortable, of course, we are going to get somebody assigned as a judge. And then that was actually what happened. I have to
Yeah.
withdraw and then they
Okay, sir.
appointed somebody else to
Mm,
continue with the process. So once you know that you cannot be neutral, please,
mm,
it's not by force. Eh? Just remove yourself so that you can retain your respect in the eye of the
mm.
people.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you,
your
sir.
worship. Mhm. I saw Honorable Joshua raising his hand. Is it a mistake?
No, it's
Oh,
not, sir. It's
okay, please.
no, just to add just briefly regarding the issue of recusing, just like you were giving your own experience.
Yes.
I think I've had quite a number of them. One of which is a member of my church. Immediately I stepped into the room, I discovered they had called me, and then of course when I got there and discovered he's a member of my church, and I know him well. I didn't even say much. In fact, I didn't say anything to them. I just walked back into the registry and told them that, look, I can't handle this matter. And of course, the registry didn't even ask what is your reason. They believe it should be a personal reason. So they asked me to minute it, and then I had to leave. So sometimes what I'm just trying to point out is that you are not required to state precisely or exactly what the reason why you are recusing yourself. Just personal reasons suffices, and you leave it at that. Just to add that. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you very much. I believe that we had a very interactive session. So what I want us to do, we are going to do practicals, and that practical will involve us using giving our statements, like our opening statements. So we are going to we will share the scenario on your platform, a landlord and tenant disputes, and we will divide you into groups. So when we come, so we'll share it. You people will do a kind of preparation, and then let me see whether I can access this. You do a preparation so that we want you have learned about stages of mediation and uh, opening statement. So every one of you, if you are divided into a group of 3, everybody must serve as a mediator. for the purpose of giving your own opening statement. Are we together? Are we together?
Yes, sir.
So when you are giving your own opening statement, you can decide to record it. You can decide to record it. So the essence is that we want to do a mediation, and first, the skill we want to emphasize is your ability to give your opening statement, because it's very crucial and it's very important. And once you are not able to give your opening statement the way you should, it may affect the proceedings later on, because you may have situations where parties will begin to react in a particular way when they don't understand what is going on and you have not explained to them what it is. So maybe they are looking at you as a judge, that they are just waiting for you to pass your judgment, and then they don't understand the process or the procedure. So you are going to make, and that's the essence, is the goal of the training or our pursuit, is that is you are learning, you are doing and learning. You are learning by doing. That is all where that's the emphasis, the goal of all this training. So you are going to do a lot of conversation, you are going to do discussion, you are going to have opportunity to discuss certain things in your group. We'll give you something, a topic, you discuss it, and you come back and let us know. And then you are going to do role plays, you are going to do presentation, you are going to prepare slides. If you look at your timetable, we have some forms of mediation, different types of specialized mediation, family mediation, community mediation, and the rest of it. All of you will prepare, and then for those who are Muslim, we'll be happy to have you pick some topics that are something you can mediate on, and make a presentation, on that topic. And when you do that, then when it comes to curriculum design, you are going to find out, how do I design? If we say, let's say, members of your mosque want you to do a training for them on a particular topic, we'll say you should go and design that training and how it's going to go. And then let us see how you are going to go about it. These are some of the things that we're going to. So we're going to share it on this thing. But before that, we are going to take a break. If we take a break now, what time do you think we should come back?
An hour?
Okay, an hour. Okay.
Yes, I
Can
think 2
we?
is okay. By
Okay,
2
we should
p.m.
return by 2. So we are going to share the scenario on the. We'll share it on the this thing. Remember, when we do the practicals, every one of you will serve as a mediator and deliver his opening statement. You want to use your phone to record. If you can request for recording, so that you can record it, everybody will present. And just to prepare your mind, thank God we are going to meet physically. For those who are spiritually, like through Zoom, we are going to give you your own. You are going to do the presentation. All of us, we are going to see you. So prepare your mind. If you need to study your manual, please study it. If you have aspect you do not understand, erase it in class so that we can discuss it. This kind of discussion, where you hear different people presenting their opinion, that will get you to a point that will help you understand certain things and keep it in your head, than one person speaking. So, and the goal of, as you see, we are training you to become people who can teach this mediation, can teach these skills as well. So bear that in mind. And so there is what we call peer review. So some of the topics, we can just assign you a topic and say you should prepare and make presentation. Don't be afraid. Just prepare and make your presentation. There are different things we'll be looking at: your composure, your confidence, your ability to pass across the message, in what you are asked to do, among several other things. So we are going to learn all that. We are going to allow you to do all that, and we are going to assess you based on all of those things. So please take note of that. So be prepared. Study your manual. We have a lot of things we need to learn. We are going to learn them and do them by practice. So we are learning as we are doing, we will be correcting. So you have a panel where your own training mates will be the one to review. So now this opening statement, by the time you learn that you present it, will criticize it, including your own trainees. You will criticize it. Let us know what did he miss out? Did she miss out? What is it that she could have done better or he would have done better? So you have the thing. So please, let's see how we can make this thing productive. So the scenario, let me just share it. I will share it on the WhatsApp on here, as well as on the WhatsApp group. It's just a simple case. You will do the mediation, but the emphasis or the skill we want to emphasize on is your ability to do a very good opening statement within the shortest time possible, at least 4 to 5 minutes. Do a good opening statement, right? Even though the time that you may have, you may not be much, when it comes to real mediation, you may not, but for this one, try to explain. That's the foundation of your mediation. So ensure that you're able to do so. So I've shared this thing on the.
Please, where's the scenario? Okay.
Yes, I've shared it on the group. That's on the. I've shared it on here, and I will share it on the training group. So okay, I've shared it again. We share it. Just read it. We are going to use that. Then remember, don't forget what you have learned in AMA. We are going to review it. You say, what is mediation? What is mediation? We are going to give you an assignment. We are going to give you, when you are defining it, you are going to tell us the section where it is found in AMA. So you need to familiarize yourself. That is your mediation holy book, if you are be permitted to say. Mediation, that's your holy book. You have to follow the information you see there. So that's the scenario. Our emphasis is opening statement. So go and find out what is the component of an opening statement. What am I supposed to say or do when I'm explaining what opening statement is? So that's what we are going to come back to do. So I because you are going to learn those things, let's return at 2:30. 2:30, is that okay?
It's okay, sir.
Very okay, sir.
30 is fine.
Yes.
It's
We'll
okay.
come back at 2:30 because you are going to use the 30 minutes to be able to learn your opening statement, because we want you, when they say, okay, you are the mediator, the first thing you are going to do is when you introduce yourself, you agree on how you are going to be addressing yourselves. Then that is the first statement you make before parties make their own opening statement. So take time to learn it and say it. The more you do it, they say mediation is practice. You learn by practice, right? So it's an avenue for you to practice that portion of the mediation session. Your opening statement is very important. So please learn it so that when you are given opportunity, you are the mediator, you'll be able to say it well. And then I expect that you may have it for now. Learn it so that you don't need to be reading it from a book and be checking this thing. But later on, when you are practicing, you can have checklist and say, okay, I need to do this and that. But for the purpose of training, we don't want you to be reading for us from any material. Is that okay? Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
We will try.
Okay, so let's come back at 2:30. Right? We have enough
Right.
time to rest and then prepare. Remember your AMA. We are going to take some important aspects of it. So you tell us the thing that interests you in the AMA. You look at the session. We have sent you the material already. The AMA. We have sent it. Look at it. Section by section, see the one that interests you, that will add value to our mediation, and then we look at it. So thank you very much. We'll see you at 2:30. Please don't wait until it is 2:30. 5 minutes to 2:30. Be between. Thank you and see you. All right.
Thank you very much. See you
At 2:30.
Let's see.